Hello everyone, I am candidate master Atul Dahale and welcome to my incredible chess channel. We are going to look at a very beautiful game played by international master R Vaishali, who is the pride of our India, you can say. She has played in chess Olympiad multiple times for Team India and she has brought lots of laurels for India. And in this game, she is white. Her opponent is a very strong grandmaster from India itself. SP Sethuraman is his name, who was 2650 plus player for a long time. And this game was played in Norway in Fagernes Open 2022, and let's see what happened in this game. Vaishali started the game with e4. Before you go further, I would just want to tell you this thing that the game is a very sharp game. I'm going to show you some very interesting variations also in this and I will try to explain. But before we go further, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you are new here. So let's continue. E4, C5. Okay, whenever c5 happens on the board, it means that both players are going to fight till the end. You can say knight f3, the result is going to happen. D6, d4, cd4, knight captures on d4, knight to f6, and now Vaishali played knight c3. Here a6 was played. This is the Najdorf position, and now Vaishali played bishop to d3. There are many alternatives in this position, but to a little bit surprised, I was not actually expecting that Sethuraman will play something like this. He played g6 move. Actually, he has written one book related to Sicilian Najdorf, and I was thinking like maybe he will play something related to that, going for e5, which is a very standard move in this position. Knight will go to f3 or b3 square and the game will go on. Okay, I will not go completely into the details, but playing g6 is the mixture of Najdorf opening and the dragon opening in Sicilian. So it is also called as the dragon Najdorf. If you have ever played this opening, do let me know in the comment section. And let's continue. f3 was played to give more support to the pawn on e4. Black played e5. The knight on d4 is under attack, so knight goes to b3 square, and now bishop comes on e6 square. Black is trying to control as many squares as possible in the center of the board, and maybe in future d5 might be one of the moves which black would love to play. Here Vaishali just continues with her development with bishop to e3. Knight to d7 was played, and now queen d2. She is ready to long castle in this position. So Sethu in this position decided to play b5 in order to be ready if long castle happens. Of course, he is going to play on the king side in this position, maybe bishop g7 or bishop e7. These are the moves, and followed by castling will be done. And in that case, whenever the opposite side castling is there, the furious attack is going to happen. It is also called as the flank attack in chess, where one side attacks on one side and other side attacks on the other side. That is the king side on the queen side. The games are pretty interesting. So here, as per the plan, she goes for the long castle, and after long castle, queen c7 was played, getting some play on the c file, just hoping here. And here, as I mentioned earlier, black is already trying to put some pressure on the queen side. So Vaishali decided to play on the king side. She started breaking on that side of the board by playing f4 move. And here Sethu played b4, attacking the knight on c3 square. Knight went to e2 square here, and now he continues with his attack with a5 move. Although I have played Najdorf many times, and I feel that this position should be favorable for black, but it is not so easy. It is a very sharp opening. There is not any kind of particular plan of action which you can adopt and you can win this kind of positions. It is full of tactics, and that's what happened in the game. It is a very tactical game, and we'll continue with that thing. To get away from the fire, you can say she played king to b1, because if a4 is played in future, the knight can always go back to c1 square. Okay, so he plays bishop e7. Maybe bishop g7 might be preferred in this position with the idea of playing castles. And now h3. Why are you playing h3? Yes, she wants to play g4 in this case and expand on the king side. So here Sethu played h5, trying to stop this kind of expansion, because if g4 is played, the pawn might be lost. But Vaishali was not in any kind of mood to back down in this position. She said like, okay, I said A and I'm going to say B. Okay, so she plays g4. Then after h captures g4, rook captures h1, rook captures h1, bishop captures the pawn on g4 square. Okay, Vaishali has lost the pawn, but what did she gain in return? Well, she has got this king, which is slightly weakened, I will say, in the center of the board, because it cannot really go to this side of the board. That is also a little risky, because bishop can go to a6 square. This bishop is also pointing towards this diagonal, so that's not any safe place for the king. And if the king stays in the center, of course we are going to see what happened. It is not so easy. So here, first things first, she gives the check on h8 square. Bishop needs to go back on f8 square, and now she captures on e5, trying to open up the game, because of course if the king is in the center of the board, you need to open the center, right? So d captures e5. She pins the knight on d7 square with b5 move, bishop to b5. King e7 tried to unpin the knight on d7 square. She again pins the knight on f6 square with bishop to g5, and now queen b7 was played. Well, maybe the move, that is queen d6, would have been preferred, tried to exchange the queens, but now queen b7, which is a very serious mistake. And in the game, Vaishali played knight b d4, which was interesting move, but instead of this, there was a better alternative, that was knight e d4, because in this case, if you capture on e4, the funny move is going to come on the board, that is bishop to c6. The rook on a8 is going to fall for sure, because queen is not having any squares also in this position. So queen is actually trapped. You will not believe this thing, but the queen doesn't have this square, this square, this square, everything is gone. So queen will be trapped right into the center of the board. So that's not any kind of good idea. Okay, in the game, she played knight b d4. She wants to get knight to the c6 square and give a check. So here Setu played rook c8, which is a kind of standard move, you can say, trying to save the game as much as possible. But I love the move which she played in this position. She is not afraid of anything. Okay, you might ask me, like, what happens if this is captured? Then again, you can continue with knight d4, which is there, but there is also one more interesting option in this position. Can you guess the move? Well, the moves are quite interesting. Bishop into d7 is the best move in the position, and after king captures on d7, you have this queen d4 check. The king is still very, very weak, I'll say. Bishop will come on d6 square, rook captures on 8, queen captures on 8, and then bishop captures on f6, or even queen captures on f6. And I'll say that the position is still lively, but black's king is little bit weak. So that was a possibility. But okay, after this rook c8 move, the best movement is that Vaishali did not move the knight. She played knight f4, which is again a beautiful move. And in this position, queen captured on e4, knight c6 check was given. Here Setu made a big blunder. He played a big blunder. He played king e8 instead of, okay, we are going to see what happened after king e8 also, but instead of this, rook c6 was the only move by which Setu could have saved the game, because after knight d5 check, okay, king will come on e6 square, bishop captures c6, knight d5, bishop into d7 check. It is a very complicated variation, so I'll just show you what might be the continuation in this position. King captures on d7, rook captures on f8, queen h1 check, queen c1, and after this captures, playing f5, black should be able to hold the game despite being extended down, because he has 3 pawns in this position. And Vaishali, although she is exchange up, she will not be getting that much play in the situation. Okay, and opposite color bishops are also there on the board, which will be a little bit difficult to play. So draw might be the likely outcome, you can say. After king to e8, the bishop on f8 is pinned. The knight on d7 is also pinned because of this side bishop is there. So here bishop captures f6, knight captures on f6. If you play, then knight b4 is a very strong idea. Discovered check is there. If king e7 is played, knight will give a check on d5 square. If you capture on d5, then knight captures on d5. The king is under attack, so king e6. And now the best move in the position is to play bishop d7, forcing black to go on the d file, so that after knight f6 check, the queen on d2 is actually giving the check, not only the knight on f6. And wherever you move the king, the queen will be lost on e4 square. So that's not any good news for black to capture the bishop on f6 square. Here rook capture on c6 was done, but that did not stop anything. She did not go for bishop captures c6 or anything. She played a very good move, that is knight d5. And now here, after rook captures on c2, Can you guess what did she play? Well, she played a very beautiful move, that is rook f8 check. And no matter what you play, king f8 is the only move, and after queen h6 check, it is just going to be a check and mate. King e8 and then queen h8 is a checkmate. So this is how a very crushing attacking game played by R. Vaishali. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll be meeting very soon with some new content. Till that moment, take care, love you all. Bye bye.